that's when I caught him by the fire pit, curled up in the ball, and he was just crying because he's like, I don't care about blood flow. Like I'm losing my mind again. Remember, you were just crying.
Yeah. I was losing my brain.
And so I said to him, let's go, let me take you to bed. And I put him into bed and I said, take your shirt off, which he did. And I just started patching his back. I just went whoosh. I really didn't know what to expect other than, oh, and I think I did a Nirvana. I mean, I just patched him. And I'm like, let me hold your hand and let's go to sleep. Because at this time, he was only on maybe 1 Prozac a day. He was out of his medicine, you guys. Like, it wasn't in his brain anymore. And he caught me off guard because I didn't know that he did it. When they're 22, they don't tell you what they do anymore, right? And so we fell asleep together. And then what happened the next day?
Yeah, I just what happened the next day was I felt better. My brain felt a lot more calm and at ease. So definitely the patches made an impact. Definitely tell you that.
And didn't you say something about that after wearing the patches, you felt like you were living in the moment? What did that mean?
Yeah. Basically what the patches helped me do too is like, I'm not like, my mind isn't somewhere else, like you're thinking about another task, like in the moment. It's basically what the patches have done for me. It helps me just like vibe and like stay in the moment instead of like stressing about things that haven't happened yet, you know? I want to say is this in the beginning is when I had it, at 3 years old, I was diagnosed with it. And I guess, right off the bat, what I do remember from when I had it was, some of the things that definitely affected me was probably just a lot of just obsessive, movements. Me and my mom, we would always go out to eat and I would always scream and she would always have to do her best to control me, whether it was throwing around food in the restaurant, just like doing repetitive things like looking up at the sun or the stars or just like, I've always had some.
Yeah, like looking up at the sun, Jacob, all the time, kind of up and down, up and down.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely like that. So it was definitely a difficult time, back then, and it was very hard for me. And I wouldn't be here today without my mom. So.
Yeah, well, I'll say that some of the characteristics of autism when children are young, and as his mother, I'll just explain some of them. As some of you may know, people working with their children on recovery, and it's when they're little, they don't talk and they cry and scream a lot, and a lot of times with Jacob, I would say come, and he would just race down Home Depot, and I thought I would lose him. Like he would just, like there was no receptive language, like he was just gone, right? Like it didn't quite get it. And he didn't normally learn from the natural environment, and he just didn't talk. I don't think we got language until we started his program when he was 3.5, and this was something called ABA therapy that we did for about 40 hours a week for about 12 years. And so Jacob, I mean, really, what happened, Jacob? We kind of like retrained your brain, right? And all of that. And it wasn't
yeah, most definitely really had to really work on my brain for, and all the speech and therapy, not being able to talk, that was definitely very difficult for me. So especially not being able to talk till I was like 4 years old. So it's like, just those little things, just having to like, definitely going through all that definitely was an experience. And
what happened, Jacob? Because you turned your medicine from one day you came to me and you said, Mom, I put my medicine down to 1 Prozac a day instead of 3. He just decided to take his dose down. Yeah. And why did you do that?
Well, basically because I wanted to see if my brain can function normally, just all natural. And I wanted to see what it would be like to like just, get off, a medication and see if I would be able to
do it
function normally. And it unfortunately it wasn't really working, because there was
so let's talk about that for a minute. And so he decided to reduce his medicine because what happens is there's side effects with medicines. And for him, He's 22. He's a very good looking man. He wants to have girlfriends. I thought when he was 3, he would never have a girlfriend. I didn't think he would talk. I didn't know if he would leave our house or be in an institution one day. I'm just being totally honest. So that he has girlfriends and wants girlfriends now is like, oh my gosh. But what happened with the side effect of Prozac is that it destroyed blood flow for him. And that's not gonna work if you want girlfriends at 22. And so without even telling me, he just decreased his dose to 1 Prozac a day, right? and then what happened?
Well, I had this like anxiety. So for example, this one night I was laying out in my patio, and I curled up into a ball crying because like the medicine just wore off, like because I stopped taking the medicine I was supposed to take for like a month. And all of a sudden, like I was feeling normal for that month because I was like, damn, I'm all natural, nothing's happening, I don't feel any side effects. And all of a sudden the side effects it was bad. Like I went into like a brain fire, like drama in my head. And it was just like, my mom had to calm me down. And basically what happened was, and this is a true story, I wasn't on the stem cell patches then, but then after, that incident, and I was rolling up on a ball on my couch, like I just took the patches.
And you were crying because, Jacob, you were crying because your OCD came back, right? You were like obsessing about things.
Yeah.
Explain some of those, just real quick, explain what came back.
It's just like anxiety about like, like the things that were happening in 8th grade came back again. So like, you're just checking your pockets, things like that, washing your hands, too many times, making sure like, you're just like kind of making sure like, I don't know, like just like making sure your wallet's not gone, your car keys, like obsessing about car keys, obsessing about things that are unnecessary to be obsessing about was what happened.
So you would just like look in and out all the time for your driver's license, or you'd be like, looking for your keys all the time, right? It
seems like whenever I wear the stem cell patches, it seems like, my brain, like the fire just calms down,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's really important that I wear them, because it just keeps the fire out of the brain and keeps me like just chilling and like just like trying to stay normal,
That's when I caught him by the fire pit, curled up in the ball, and he was just crying because he's like, I don't care about blood flow. Like I'm losing my mind again. Remember, you were just crying.
Yeah. I was losing my brain.
And so I said to him, let's go, let me take you to bed. And I put him into bed and I said, take your shirt off, which he did. And I just started patching his back. And I didn't even really know what to do. I just knew he was on fire. So I literally, you guys saw his back. I did like 2 X39s and 2 X39s or the stem cell patch. I did 2 eons for inflammation. I think I did 2 carnosines, and I think I did a glutathione. I just went whoosh. I really didn't know what to expect other than, and I think I did a Nirvana. I mean, I just patched him. And I'm like, let me hold your hand and let's go to sleep. Because at this time, he was only on maybe 1 Prozac a day. He was out of his medicine, you guys. Like, it wasn't in his brain anymore. And he caught me off guard because I didn't know that he did it. When they're 22, they don't tell you what they do anymore, right? And so we fell asleep together. And then what happened the next day?
Yeah, I just, what happened the next day was I felt better. My brain felt a lot more calm and at ease. So definitely the patches made an impact. Definitely tell you that.
And didn't you say something about that after wearing the patches, you felt like you were living in the moment? What did that mean?
Yeah. Basically what the patches helped me do too is like, I'm not like, my mind isn't somewhere else. Like you're thinking about another task, like in the moment. It's basically what the patches have done for me. It helps me just like vibe and like stay in the moment instead of like stressing about things that haven't happened yet, So that's something that the patches have done too for me, is just like live in the moment more and not worry about like just like the next task, or, you know, or something that's planned for another day. Just worry about what I'm doing in the moment. And that's something that patches really helped me with. And it's like another reason why, like, it's definitely a great product.
And Jacob, what was I going to ask you on that? Oh, and the interesting part is that he seems to have been able to stabilize on 2 Prozacs with the patches. So not 1, not 3, but 2. And so we've been able to lower the dose a little bit.
I've been patching for 1 month.
And he's been patching for 1 month. And so we've been really doing, you know, I didn't know, I just knew that he needed more support because he didn't have enough Prozac in him. And that's why we did so many patches, right? So we've just been doing the patches that I said, 2X39, 2 Eon, 2 carnosine, and a glutathione on his back. And I just put him all on his back at night. He comes and he kneels down to me. I put him on his patch, send him to bed. And then we know in the morning I take him all off. Like, I did it more just so him and I would stay compliant on patching him every night, right? I mean, that's just what we did. And he basically has been able to maintain with 2 Prozacs, and that's been helping his blood flow. Like, we've kind of found the best little space for him with his medication, with the patches, and now his blood flow's better, and he's just feeling better about himself, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely doing a lot better now. Like, your kids have hope. You know, I just want to let you all, everyone out here that's on this call today, I want you all to know that your kids have hope, and you can recover no matter what whatever, like, they can fight this.